The Critical Period Hypothesis and Language Learning, Lecture 3. Compare child and adult language acquisition and a second language. Adults or children who are better in the short term, in the long run. How can we account for these differences? Is it a matter of learners' characteristics and learning conditions? Is it a matter of biological constraints? The critical period hypothesis states that there is a period during which language acquisition is easy and complete and beyond which is difficult and typically incomplete. Lenneberg. People who lost linguistic capabilities, for example as a result of accidents, were able to regain them totally before puberty, but were unable to do so afterwards. The neurological basis of language in children and adults is different. Penophiles and robbers, first 10 years of life, the brain retains plasticity. After puberty, there is lateralization of language function in the left hemisphere. Brain is not equipotential like the brain of the rats, which functions holistically. Take your left hand and cup it over your ear so that the palm of your hand is clapped over your ear hole, middle finger, index finger, Wernicke area. Bragas area, Wernicke area. Raw. Speech production, processing of the structure of sentence, and clear roll. And Wernicke area. The critical period hypothesis in L2. Newport and Johnson critical period effects in second language learning, the influence of metrorelation state on the acquisition of language as a second language. Previous studies, Patowski, differences between pre- and post-puberty learners of English, age of arrival only significant predictor of syntactic proficiency. Oyama, age of arrival rather than attitudinal variables predicted language performances. The critical period hypothesis in L2. Create a resource space, gap in knowledge. How could they contribute to previous studies? Expand on language sample taken from subjects. Wider range of ages. Outer purpose. Examine relationship between age of exposure and overall measure of English proficiency, as well as the possible differential effects of age of exposure on various aspects of grammatical structure. Examine a wide range of wages of exposure to establish the precise shape of the function relating age to proficiency. In other words, how does age, first exposure to L2, relate to ultimate level of language proficiency within the CP? The critical period hypothesis in L2. Research questions. First, is there an age-related effect on learning the grammar of a second language? Second, if so, what is the nature of the relationship? What is the shape of the function relating age to learning and ultimate performance? And where, if anywhere, does the relationship plateau or decline? Third, can experimental of additional variables separately or together explain the effects obtained for age of learning? What areas of the grammar are the most and least problematical for learners of different age groups? Results and discussion. There seems to be a strong linear relationship between age of exposure to language and ultimate performance in that language up to adulthood. Subjects first exposed to English at 3, 7, now decline in language ability. 8, 10, slight decline. 11, 15, sharper decline. 16, 17, 39, their ultimate level of proficiency was not related to the age at which they were first exposed to English. Some score were high and some were low. Great variation. Result. We didn't find a flat relationship between performance and age of learning throughout childhood, with a sudden drop in performance marking the end of the critical period. Instead, performance gradually declines from about age 7 on until adulthood. For adult learners, age does not continue to be predictor of performance. Theoretical account of critical period effects in language learning must therefore consider whether the skill underlying children's uniformly superior performance are similar to those used by adult learners, or either whether adult language learning skill is controlled by a different set of variables. There is a nature of the relationship between age of arrival and performance. This line in performance up through puberty and subsequent lack of linearity and grit after puberty. And what accounts for this line? Two different explanations. That there is maturational change in a specific language acquisition device. And second, an increase in certain cognitive abilities may paradoxically make language learning more difficult.